What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? In this video, we are going to walk through over 70 different iOS 10 features. So let's get started. The first feature is new wallpaper. Obviously, with every new iOS iteration, you get a new wallpaper, and this one is no different. iOS 10 features this wallpaper right here, which is available on the iPad as well. Now, there's a new look for folders. You're going to notice it's subtle. If you're not paying attention, you may miss it, but now you have a translucent view of the home screen app icons, and the animation that occurs when you open and close folders has changed. Now, there's a stronger font type as well. You'll notice that the font isn't nearly as thin as it was on previous versions of iOS. Now it's a little bolder. And personally, I felt that the font was too thin on previous versions of iOS, so this is a welcome change in my opinion. The next feature is Raise to Wake. A lot of people complained that Touch ID 2 on the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus was way too fast. When they touched or when they pressed their home button, it would automatically dismiss all their notifications. They wouldn't be able to see what was going on. Now you don't have to worry about that because you just pick up your phone now and it automatically wakes up and you can see your notifications right on the lock screen without having to press the home button at all. So pretty nice. You can also remove stock applications. That's right, you can remove stock applications like iTunes Store, the Mail app, Reminders, Notes, the list goes on and on. Now, not all apps are eligible to be removed, but for instance, the Mail app can be removed, and when you remove it, beware because once you do, you're not going to be able to tap Mail to links to send email, for instance. Let me show you what I mean right here. So, there are some downsides to removing some stock applications. Like, for instance, if I tap that Mail to link, it's going to tell me, hey, you need the Mail app. Yeah, you can't use third-party apps in place of the stock apps. Doesn't work that way, at least not yet. So just head over to the App Store and then tap the Cloud button and re-enable the app that you removed. And you're ready to go. Pretty simple. So let's just swipe over, find the Mail app, and then we can just move it right back over to its proper location in the dock. So in other words, when you remove a stock app, there's no need to worry. You can always get it back by going back to the App Store. I'm going to remove the Tips app because I know I won't need that. And now it's gone. Now here's something that may be a little controversial. The App Store now features ads. Yes, advertisements in the App Store. When you perform a search, at the very top, you may see an advertisement like this. But the good news is that the advertisements are displayed just like normal App Store listings. So you're not going to get anything funky looking in there or any weird, crazy advertisements. They just look like normal App Store listings. So you won't have to worry about overly intrusive ads. In iOS 10, there is a smaller Back to App button in the status bar. Previously, the Back to App button displayed the full application name, which cramped up the status bar, caused certain things within the status bar to be hidden. This fixes that problem. Now you just tap the little arrow in the upper left-hand corner, and you can go back to app. In iOS 10, Siri gets a more prominent settings panel. Previously, it was buried down underneath the general section of the settings app. Now, when you open up settings, Siri has its very own panel, complete with its own special Siri graphic, but all the settings inside are pretty much the same as they have been. If you're running macOS Sierra, you will now find a desktop folder within iCloud Drive, which contains synced desktop content from your Mac. In the Notes app on iOS 10, you'll find a new Shared Notes button in the upper right-hand corner. Tapping that allows you to add people to collaborate on notes. And as you can see at the bottom here, you can share the special iCloud links it creates to a variety of different services. FaceTime connects way faster in iOS 10. Notice this. Freaky fast. Now, if you own an Apple Watch, you're going to enjoy the new updates to the Watch app. Not only can you go in and build your own watch face, which is really nice. You don't have to do that on that really tiny screen of the Apple Watch. You can also browse the face gallery, which allows you to see all of the different watch faces, how they'll look. You can go in there and select the watch face. That is really nice to be able to do that on a large screen like the iPhone, instead of having to do that on your 38mm or 42mm watch. Now, in previous versions of iOS, the Mail, Contacts, and Calendar pane was one single pane that contained all three settings within that one panel. Well, now in iOS 10, they have been broken up. Now, Mail, Contacts, and Calendar has its own settings panel within the Settings app. Really nice. iOS 10 adds support for Apple Pay on the web, and although I'm not able to demonstrate that for you right now, you will find a switch for Check for Apple Pay inside of Safari's preferences, hinting at the upcoming feature. Now, the Contacts app got a nice, fresh new coat of paint. You see the blue buttons there, but that's not all. In the future, you're going to see integration with third-party applications for contacting and staying in touch with your friends and family. If you go into the Settings app and select Videos, you're going to find a new video playback quality setting to allow you to adjust the amount of data used while watching videos. Now, Control Center got a pretty big update in iOS 10. Obviously, what sticks out is the splash of color that you have on things like the rotation lock buttons and the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi buttons. But that's not all. Now, AirPlay mirroring is called AirPlay Screen, and it has its own dedicated button. You just tap there, and you can quickly mirror your screen to an Apple TV. But that's not all. If you swipe over, you get your own dedicated music controls, and AirPlay audio and video are now separate and feature their own little nook here. You can access that by tapping the disclosure triangle. There's also 3D touch shortcuts available for quick launch apps. So if you 3D touch here on the flashlight, you can change the intensity of the flashlight. You can change it to low, medium, or high intensity right there on the fly. Works really well. And you can also 3D touch on the timer to set a specific timer interval. You can 3D touch on the calculator to copy the last result, and you can 3D touch on the camera to take a photo, record slow-mo, record a video, or take a selfie. Now, if you're on your home screen and you swipe down from the top of the status bar, you're going to invoke Notification Center. And in iOS 10, it's standalone. There is no Today view. There are no widgets. When you're on your home screen and you invoke Notification Center, you can't swipe to the left or to the right to access the Today view, for instance. But if you're not on your home screen, say you're within an app, and you swipe down from the top of the status bar to invoke Notification Center, you will be able to swipe over from the left side of the screen. You see the little dots there indicating you can swipe over. So you will be able to swipe over and access all of your widgets just like that. This is only when you're within an app. It doesn't work that way when you're at the home screen. The reason why that is because when you're on the home screen, you simply swipe from the left side of the screen to view all of your widgets, just like that. So that's why that is. So basically, they're separate when you're on the home screen, and when you're in an app, they are sort of combined. It's kind of weird, takes some getting used to. You can still swipe down while in the Today view or the widget view to access your notifications. It takes some getting used to, trust me, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. And speaking of widgets, now when you 3D touch on certain applications, you see a widget that you can add to your Today view or the widgets view or whatever they're calling it these days. You can also add new widgets just by opening up your widgets view and then scrolling to the bottom and selecting edit. You'll see a whole bunch of new widgets in here like up next and map destinations, all sorts of new things that you'll find in here that wasn't in the older versions of iOS. So exciting stuff here if you're a fan of widgets. See the Siri app suggestions, the music widget, kind of cool. Now, Spotlight Search is still here in a major way. You can access it from your widgets view. Not only that, but you can access it by swiping down on the home screen, just like that. And you can still access it from Notification Center. Also, did you notice Spotlight Search History? Notice here, you're going to see some history items right there. With iOS 10, you get enhanced interactive notifications. So it's not just one single reply from a message, for instance, but it's more like the Apple Watch, where you can continue to hold a conversation within a quick reply easily. That is so much better than the previous way where it would just disappear after you send one reply, and then you would have to actually go into the message app. If you're a big fan of quick reply, you're going to love the new enhanced interactive notifications on iOS 10. But of course, that's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. You have unlimited Safari tabs now. So that literally means unlimited. There's no longer this arbitrary limit. I think it was like 30 or something, 32, something around there. Well, now you can continue to hit the plus sign to add an unlimited, literally an unlimited amount of Safari tabs. I mean, I'm just continuing to press the plus button and it's continuing to add more and more tabs. Fingers getting tired. I'm serious, it's unlimited. Yeah, it's unlimited. So you can just continue to scroll over like that. I don't know who would do this, who in their right mind would have this many tabs open, but fact of the matter is you can have unlimited tabs in Safari in iOS 10. Let's open up the tab view here and let's see what we have. Crazy. That's nuts. Now, you also have Safari split view, which is really cool, something that we've been wanting. So if you tap and hold on a link, you can tap open in split view and view two Safari windows side by side. And the nice thing about this is that you have two separate address bars and two separate tab bars. So these are literally two different instances of Safari that you can independently control. Now, iMessage has a new media attachment interface, and it's extremely robust. You're going to love this. So when I tap the little camera button here, not only do I see a live view of my camera, and I can just tap there to take a photo, and it will automatically show up right there in my message compose window. And then, of course, I can tap that to disable live photos or tap the X to get rid of it. So that's really nice. But you also have all of your pictures here as well. So if I just tap a picture, I can add a picture to the compose window. I can also swipe over, access my full camera, access my full photo library if I want to do that. But I'm going to add some more pictures here. So you just literally tap like that and it adds pictures. And you can also mix and match live pictures or pictures that you just took with your photos that are already existing in your photo library. And they just simply appear in your compose window. And then just tap the send button and it sends those pictures just like that. Now you can also mark up images directly in iMessage. So I'm going to take a new picture and I'm going to mark that picture up right here on the fly. So just take the photo. It's going to appear in my compose window. Then I just tap on the photo and then I can tap edit to edit the photo, or if I want to, I can mark it up by tapping the markup button like this. And there are my markup tools. So I can draw on it. I can use my magnifier if I want to. I'm just going to draw, and you can see you can smooth it out. So all the markup tools that you're familiar with in the Apple ecosystem, you can do. All right, so I'm going to put some text in here. Maybe I'll just tell them to fix this. All right, I think we're done. Just tap save and then tap done. All right, so if I'm satisfied with the image, I can just tap done and it appears in my compose window with all the markup there. Just tap send and it sends it. Now here's one of my favorite new updates. Inline YouTube playback. Just paste in the URL, send it,